Before I lift the car up, I'm going to turn the wheel to one side or the other. I'll do the 3 screws for the fender liner here, and then the 1 screw that goes up from the bumper into the fender bracket. These are all going to be T25s. An extended driver bit is helpful here just because it's a tight space. And then we'll do the same thing on the other side. We'll turn the wheel this way and do the passenger. On a lot of the newer models, the alarm may go off when you pull the battery terminal. I always suggest pulling the negative terminal on these when you're doing anything, removing a sensor, so you don't short something. To keep that alarm from going off, you can hit the unlock button. I'm going to press the start stop. This is a 10 millimeter. Again, just pulling the negative terminal in the back. I'll give it a minute for all the lights to turn off, just so there's nothing pulling power as we do this. And I'm shoving a block of wood in here between our terminal and the battery, just so that that doesn't touch. That does make the harness stick up here, so don't close your hood, leave that open during this process. On the top of the car here, we got 2 screws on the top of the grill. These are 2 T25s again. With the headlight shape being different on these don't come out the same way that an 8 grill would, where you have clips along the bottom. It seems like this one actually has to come up a little bit to release the center and then work your way out. I've never done an 8.5 before, so this was took some time to figure out. I'm going to lift up on the bottom of the badge. There's kind of a pin that slides into the bumper. Try to get that out, and you can see this inside edge or the lower edge pops up, and then there's a couple tabs here across there, and I'm going to reach up under here and try to pull them out from the edge of the bumper. I'll also put a hand behind the bumper here to push it out. I don't want to snap this thin area right here where the 2 pieces meet, because that seems like that's probably the weakest point. On the bottom of the grill, we got tabs across the bottom. There's also this lip, and this is what sits under this part of the bumper, which means that you don't really have access to these tabs to release them with a tool from below. When you pull this out, you want to be trying to apply pressure at these specific locations, just so that you're putting pressure on that tab, not necessarily on the thin parts of the grill. And when you pull this off, you can just pull these wire harness tabs off. These just slide on and off to keep the harness from moving around too much. Pulling those off gives you enough slack that you can leave it on top of the intake while we're doing the rest of the process. With the grill off, just going to leave it sitting on top. We're going to pull the 3 screws, T25s again. With everything on the top side of the bumper removed, it's now safe to jack up the car, put it on a set of car ramps, jack stands. That little extra bit of height makes your life easier to remove the bumper. Depending how low the car is, you might be able to do this without jacking up the car at all. On the bottom of the bumper, we got to remove 2 T25s for the fender liners for the bumper. There's 5 across the center, and then the other 2, and 2 more on the opposite side of the car. You can remove all those. They're T25s. I do recommend using tape on your headlight just so you don't scratch it, especially in this corner. As you pull this off, this has to come past the headlight, so you don't want to scratch the lens. As you pull the bumper off, you want to support it because we do have a harness that runs the sensors in the bumper. It's mounted below the driver's side headlight. We're going to remove the fender out of the clip at the top here. We'll do that on the other side, and then we'll slide the whole bumper forward. As long as you have your fender screws, the ones across the bottom, and these 4 on the top, the bumper is not held on by anything else right now. So once you start pulling these off, it could start falling off. So just make sure that you got something supporting. I'm going to reach behind here. I have my whole hand behind the flat face. and I'm going to pull out. This is just clips, and you'll see it pops off. We got 3 across the top and then a couple across the back side. And you'll see that we're fully loose here. This is just held on by the top now. So we'll do this on the other side too. All right, before I go any further, I do want to come in and remove the wiring harness on both sides. Driver's side, we have one here. The tab is on the inside. You're just going to press that and you can slide it back. Round side is going to be the top. On a GTI, you're going to have the fog light plugs also. I'll show you that once I pull the bumper off. You got that on both sides. The whole harness for the bumper is just on the driver's side though. If you have a model that has washer sprayers, you're also going to have the hose that comes down for that. There's a blue button on that. You just press it, pull it down. If you have the tank full, it's going to leak, so have a bucket under it to catch that. When I pull this out of the fender clip, you want to put your whole hand here and pull out so that you're spreading the stress out along all these. You don't want to snap it here. See people break that piece all the time because they're trying to pull it like this and then they end up breaking in the top edge. For the connectors, we got this one here. That's for the whole bumper, all the sensors, fog lights, fog on this side. This car does not have washer sprayers, but the ones that do would have the line coming down here, and some of the lines for that would go up along the bottom there. On the car side, we have the connector for the fog. This is in this orientation, so that release tab is on the inside, and this one again is round part on the top, so the connector is on the inside. In the next steps, we're going to flip the bumper upside down to start installing the lip. I do recommend using tape again on the top edge here. I'm doing this on a moving blanket that I know is clean, doesn't have any grit or anything on it. I don't want to scratch paint. If you don't have something set up like this, you can use the cardboard that the lip ships in. Again, just clean it off so it doesn't have stuff rubbing on the top of the bumper and scratching your clear. I would suggest protecting that front top corner because that's going to be touching the ground when we flip this. And then I'll also do a small section in the center here. We're going to use the lip as our template for drilling. We do have a countersunk hole on the bottom. The kit's going to come with a torque screw with a big fender washer. That goes in the rear hole that is not countersunk. And then it goes into the hole in the bumper here to align everything. This will be the outside hole. Inside hole is the one that we used to remove the fender liner. So if you didn't take that one out already, take that out. We're going to replace it with this one that we provide. With our 2 outside screws installed, we can just drill through all our countersunk holes now. This is going to be a 6mm or 1/4 inch drill bit. In the center, we're going to put a spacer in here. The angled portion goes up towards the bumper. Flat edge goes to the bottom of the lip or to the top surface of the lip. We have a couple different bolt sizes. Longest ones are going to go in the front. So countersunk bolt through the lip, through the spacer, in through the bumper tray with the lower spoiler. So you should have just a nut on the front row. You'll see those sit in between the pocket here where the impact bar clips on. And then the back, you'll have a washer and a nut just on those center 10. We'll do the 2 outsides next. For the last 2 holes, we should have 4 bolts left, 2 for each side. We're going to do a washer and a nut. And then the next one up, we don't have room for a washer here, so we're just running a nut. We'll do that for the other side, and then we're ready to clean this up, put it back on the car. We're just going to tighten these up. These are going to be a T30. We're using a serrated flange nut here. The serrations will catch the plastic and the washer. So generally you won't even need to use a wrench on the back side. This is stainless. It's possible to strip it, so just be careful that you're not over torquing it. If you are going to use an impact, don't just keep going. You just want to tighten this up enough that everything pulls snug. We're not looking for a specific torque spec here. can get our bumper lined up again. I'm going to slide this in as far as I can and then clip in all of our plugs for the harnesses on a GTI, the fog lights, and then the harness for all the sensors in the bumper. On an R model, you're just going to have the body harness, and then if your car has washer sprayers, you'll want to reconnect that at this point also. Make sure that they go all the way on, otherwise you're going to get an error. As you line this up, just keep an eye on your headlight. Make sure that your bumper cover is touching your tape and not the headlight lens. As we push this back in, you want to lift up the center and get this on top of the support here. This is going to sit on the flat section. You see we got two tabs that align at left, right. I'm going to get the center settled first, and then we'll make sure that our outside edge is going to line up with the bumper clips, or the fender clips right there. I'm just going to get this pressed in to hold it there. I'll do the other side. If you clip one side in too soon, you're not going to be able to get both of them to fully seat on there. The other thing, as you push this on, because we're trying to press the lower edge of the bumper back into the lower rebar, you might need a press on the lower center to get that to fully seat. That'll give you the extra flexibility to get the fender brackets back in. And you do want to push this. You got two tabs that are actually visible on the bottom here. If your car doesn't have one of these cutouts, you'll still be able to see it through the grill. You want to make sure that those click all the way into the rebar so that you know the bumper's in the right spot. Up on the fender here, obviously keep an eye on your gap here. You want to pull the bumper towards you and back. You got to get this edge of the bumper to come up over the fender clips. So I'm going to keep pulling this. Again, it could be that the rebar is not fully seated, so it's not sitting all the way tight if you can't get it to line up. Once I see that my clips are on the correct side of that fender bracket, I can start pressing these in. Same deal, I want to press these in as evenly as I can so that I'm not potentially splitting any of those where it gets thin. Before I lower the car back down, I'll just put the screws back on the underside of the bumper. We have the 5 that go up to the core support for the lower tray, and then the 2 that go out to the fender liner. You're just going to reuse the screws that came out. Going to add our 4 screws back to the top of the bumper cover here. You do want to push this all the way forward. There are some stops that'll show you where it goes with this squared off tab there. As we reinstall this, I'll make sure that all my wire harness clips are back on where they were. We pulled it off from the center working out. I'm going to do the opposite, putting it back on. I'll make sure my outside lines up and I got a decent panel gap between the headlight on either side. I'll just visually check that. And I'm going to be pushing down because I want the bottom lip of this to go under the lip in the bumper where it's supposed to be. Try to get that outer one clipped in first. And before I go any further, I'll just check that I'm centered. And I'll work my way in. Again, I'm going to put pressure down so that the bottom lip goes under the lip in the bumper cover. And then up top, we're going to pull this out so that the tabs slide in. They're supposed to be below this surface where the intake opening is. Add the last 2 screws on the top of the grill. With the bumper installed and all the connectors reattached, we can reinstall the battery terminal. This is a 10mm. You will have a couple things pop up on the dash temporarily as the computer tries to recognize everything. Typically there's an error about the steering wheel not knowing kind of where it is. The way that you clear that is just drive the car forward like a foot, turn the steering wheel left and right, and that'll disappear. And last step, add your fender liner screws.